Hello world, my name is Emily and this is RugbyTV. This week we are going to have a vlog. In a few hours I'm flying out to Atlanta for Atlanta Sevens. By the time you see this video I'll probably already be in Atlanta. But Atlanta Sevens, so in addition to the Six Nations this weekend, Super Rugby is happening all around the world, we also have another stop of the Women's Sevens World Series tournament, and it's going to be in Atlanta. You can watch it on worldrugby.org. I'll put a link here. And yeah, maybe you'll see me controlling some subs because I will be a sub-controller at this tournament. We're also having a ref camp. So I also want to take this opportunity of this vlog, since I'm going to Atlanta, to talk a little bit about traveling and its relation to rugby and specifically refereeing. So if you have been following, maybe you know I've been traveling a lot this spring. Quick summary of my travels this spring, starting actually in the winter. In January I went to Chicago for the National Development Summit, and then in February of course I went to Vegas Sevens. Right after that I headed over to San Diego. I came home for Chinese New Year and then went back to San Diego for the Champagne Classic. So I went to San Diego twice, and today I'm going to Atlanta. Next week I'm probably going to New York City to ref in a 15s tournament on Randall's Island. And then in the next few weeks after that, I'll probably ref around New England. And then after that, in the beginning of April, I'm going to England on a referee exchange set up by New England. I'll be heading to Gloucester to ref a few games there. Immediately from London, I'm going to fly to Taiwan and ref in a sevens tournament there on my first weekend, in addition to seeing some family, right? And then immediately upon my return back to the US in about late May, mid to late May, I'm going to Denver to referee some college sevens. So that's a lot of traveling coming up. Chicago, San Diego twice, Atlanta, New York, other places in New England, London, Gloucester, Taiwan, and Denver. I know some of those are cities, some of those are countries, and some of those are states. Beyond this is just the spring. Rugby has also taken me to many other places outside of this season. Of course, last year I went to South Africa for 2 months as a referee. And traveling isn't the reason I got into rugby, but of course it's a really huge perk of being a referee. It's not why I love refereeing, but it's definitely a huge bonus to travel the world, travel the country, even travel New England and see other cultures, experience, diversify my life experiences. I mean, that's a conversation for another day, but I think diversifying your experiences as a human being is great for being a human being. But I digress. Even as a player, if you're not a referee, as a player, rugby can also take you around the world around this country. As a player, I got to go to Florida, Atlanta, Ohio, California for nationals, and on spring breaks, I know a lot of teams like to go overseas, but usually we went to North Carolina and Virginia and just went on a long road trip. But there was one year when my college team, we went to Scotland for a week, and that was the best week of my life, hands down. So yeah, if you're not involved in rugby and you love to travel, traveling is definitely one reason why you should join the rugby community. Of course, if you don't like to travel, you don't have to. It's pretty much all up to your decision. If you don't like to travel, there's a lot of rugby happening right here as well in the US. I started a list last spring of 100 reasons why I love rugby, and traveling is definitely a good one and appeals to many people. So yeah, this falls under the category of, sport is an international language, rugby is an international language. Unlike American football or other sports that are more popular in America, this sport is also very popular all around the world. It's very interesting too. I was talking to a friend in Vegas, and in some countries where she's visited as part of the Atlantis tours, rugby is considered a girls' sport. They would have practices, and there would be the boys standing on the sideline and the girls playing rugby, and they would say, "Hey, why aren't you playing rugby?" Ask the boys, "Why aren't they playing rugby?" And they would say, "Oh, it's a girls' sport." So it is really cool to travel and see not only like different rugby cultures, but just different cultures in general. And yeah, broaden my perspectives, become a better person all throughout this channel of rugby. That's what I wanted to talk about in this vlog. Rugby, travel, refereeing, they all fit together really well. Oh, and I should mention, you know, I'm not like a very wealthy person. A lot of this traveling is compensated or reimbursed. Some of it is out of pocket, you know, I have to put myself out there. But a lot of it is reimbursed if you have the support of a referee society. Hope you guys have a great rugby weekend, and if sevens is your thing, you know, make sure to check out Atlanta Sevens streaming live at worldrugby.org, and maybe you'll see me on the sidelines there. A bonus of being a referee rather than a player is that sometimes they pay you to go to these places and to referee, while as a player, you know, you have to often pay thousands of dollars to play. So it's just another side of the same coin.